Hello dear children, I am Sazida from OYS Bhopal. Here I am present in front of you with certain points which will help you in solving your accountancy paper very effectively. It is highly essential for you people to check the syllabus thoroughly and understand the marks distribution, which chapter contain how much marks. Practice the previous year question paper. Develop the concept, develop the conceptual learning, because in accountancy your rote learning is not going to help you. Solve the question of last 2 to 3 years paper. You are not required to go for more ahead. It's not at all essential for you people to solve the paper in chronological order. In whichever question you are more confident, you start with first. As you know, you are provided with the first 15 minutes to read the question paper. Do you know, children, these 15 minutes are very much effective, because this 15 minutes can be utilized to solve your MCQ based questions, because where the questions are asked directly, you can tick mark, or you can just at least read out, find the answers, and as your paper begin at 10:30, so you first write those answers. Okay, then leave the space for remaining questions where the calculations are required, that can be solved in further minutes. So as your paper start at 10:30, you solve the remaining MCQ questions. Do not waste more than 15 to 20 minutes in solving those MCQ based questions. Right, children? Then we will focus on Part B. Part B, which carry 20 marks. If we count the question of Part B, we will find that there are hardly 8 questions. One big question of cash flow statement that actually required time. But see, if you will solve it calmly, confidently, you would be able to solve that question in the first attempt correctly. Each and every posting of cash flow statement carry marks. So do not feel if your answer will be wrong at the end, your marks will be deducted. Marks will be deducted, but hardly 0.5 or 1 mark. But you will get the marks of each and every correct posting. So out of these 8 questions, 4 are MCQ. May be possible that first any 2 questions you will get the direct, and remaining 2 you may have to calculate. So that can be done, because in Part B the questions are very simple, basically formula based, or they may be asked the questions based from the heads and subheads. Some conditional based questions based on cash flow statement, some conditional based questions from the first chapter of that book where balance sheet is there. So that can be solved, that portion can be solved in 45 minutes. So utilize only 45 minutes to solve that particular portion. Now you are left with your Part A. Children, you have already solved 16 MCQ questions plus 8 questions of Part B. It means you are left with hardly 10 questions out of total 34 questions. So children, in whichever question you are more confident out of these 4 of 6 marks, so please go ahead with that. But be very much focused. Try to avoid mistakes. Try to solve the question in the first attempt itself correctly without error, so you can save your time. For example, if you are solving the question based on realization, so you know very well, if we are provided with the balance sheet, we need to transfer all assets other than cash and liabilities into realization. We know that cash account will not be realized because it's a cash. All the fixed assets and current assets which have a realizable value, they will be transferred towards the debit side. All the liabilities, external liabilities, will be transferred to credit side, because the question begins from here only. Then you can start realizing the assets and liabilities according to the provided conditions. So be focused, right? If you're solving questions based on admission of a partner, so little be careful with the calculation of new profit sharing ratio, how much goodwill has been brought or not, right? What is the portion of capital which has been brought by the new partner at the time of admission? How much share is going to be allotted to that particular person? So these are the few points which are required to remember. So that will make your solution, very simple and easy. If you start solving from revaluation account, complete it, solve the profit sharing ratio, calculate the profit correctly, right? Even if you find that you are not confident enough in solving your calculating your profit correctly, then also don't ignore it, calculate it, transfer the same profit into capital account, distribute the reserves correctly, distribute the all accumulated profit correctly, see the conditions related to write-off, okay, and whichever. So at the end, when you will get the balance, even if the balance is not correct, it will not be penalized there, because once already marks deducted at the time of profit calculation or profit distribution. So you will be awarded with the full marks in the partner's capital account. Right, children? Prepare the balance sheet correctly. See, whichever value is new in the balance sheet, marks are basically awarded for that. Like if you are required to write revised value of the assets and liabilities, so be careful, you need to write revised value of assets and liabilities. You will find that the conditions related to retirement and death are almost similar, okay, because anyhow one partner is leaving the partnership firm, so you are not required to learn two different conditions. So revise these conditions which will be applicable in both the cases. We know that when we are having the retirement of partner, right, so we need to transfer balance of that particular partner's capital into his loan account, and if there is a case of death, you need to transfer that balance of capital in its executor's account. So very common difference, but the problem is marks will be deducted if we do not write the correct term in the particular. So these are the very small things which we need to remember and which will avoid deduction of marks due to this silly mistakes. So now children, here we will focus on the questions based on company accounts. See, basically what questions we get the questions based on issue of shares, we get the questions which includes the forfeiture of shares, reissue of shares and transfer of forfeited amount into capital reserve. See, it is essential to pass the initial entries because this is the beginning, but that carries less marks. You cannot ignore those last entries. Suppose if you are feeling that I have a less amount of time, these last entries can be ignored. Please do not do this mistake because these entries are important. They carry more weightage. You need to pass the journal entries related to forfeiture of shares. You need to see how many shares are reissued. So need to pass the journal entry for the same. Even the last entries, which is there for transferring the value of forfeiture into capital reserve, that is also very important. Children, if you are not able to calculate the marks, at least write the journal entries, right? Do not miss it, do not skip it. If we go with the questions based on debentures, see, they never ask a one complete set of story or one question of debentures where they are issuing, then application money has been asked, allotment has been asked, first call and second call. See, the questions which are based on issue of debentures under different conditions, like issue of debentures as a collateral security, issue of debentures and redemption of the same debentures under different conditions. So condition wise you need to pass the journal entry. Each conditions carry individual marks, right? So there is no connectivity in the different conditions, right? So be focused for that, write and pass the correct journal entry. Children, avoid silly mistakes while calculation of any value, silly mistakes while writing zero. Wherever required, please prepare working notes. See, your systematic rough work will help you in presenting a good working note, because in some of the questions you may be allotted the marks for working note also. So do not ignore it, right? So I'm 100% sure, children, you will come out with the flying colors. You will score very good marks. Wish you all the best and do well. Be confident.